I'm Jake Schriner.
I'm Bob Nelson.
I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, and this is the Compass Conversation Podcast. Welcome to my house.
Hello.
Welcome back. Ta-da!
We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus.
You know what? That's what's different. Last time, this new season of the podcast, last recording, you didn't have a beverage.
I didn't have it. You are right.
So we were about to go like, oh, okay. All right.
Now I do. I have my coffee.
And you have coffee, and I'm not drinking coffee as I should before.
It looks like coffee though. That's
all secret. But it's not really secret now. But anyhow.
And I've got me a spot of Irish breakfast tea.
Irish breakfast tea. For dinner. Let's have a breakfast for dinner.
It took me far too long into my adult life to realize you could drink more than coffee out of a coffee mug. You see so many people with coffee mugs, you think everyone's drinking coffee.
Yes.
Water, orange juice, soda, Irish tea.
And well, in many previous podcasts, I had water.
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't stop by Starbucks or something that night. Well, you may notice something different, and so what's your opinion here? This little tablecloth, last week we didn't have the tablecloth, so it looked kind of, I don't know, it looked kind of cool, kind of liked it. It was kind of sleek, modern looking. But I thought I would try homeying it up. Now, the story behind this is many of you probably have seen it in Target, probably somewhere. It's a very common little tablecloth. But the story behind this one is, I don't even know if you know this, Bob.
I don't.
But back in the day, we were meeting this church in the hall. We had some stuff set out, and we had something to cover it, keep things from being messy. But Lori Peterson, the principal of the elementary school, actually gave us this to use on Sunday mornings.
Nice.
So there's a little retro thing thrown in here. But anyway, in the comments, let us know. Did you like it better before? Or should we lose the tablecloth?
Or do you like Johnny's knees?
My knees. Or every week should there be a different tablecloth? Oh no, that would be bad. You got to bring one.
That's a little
you got to bring one.
There.
It's a little too much.
It's very controversial. Which tablecloth that we get at?
They're the church space.
That's true. You do not want that. Well, I mean, I almost got the white one, but I was thinking, it's what we use during the Lord's Supper.
Right, that would be very fun.
I mean, I don't know. It just seemed a little much. And the one we had before was sort of an off-white, yellowish, covered in coffee stains.
Yeah.
So I figured this. We wanted to see.
It'll hide this coffee stains a little better.
That's true. And those like little mini circle coasters. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, hey, you know what? We're going to go around the table real fast, see how everybody's doing. Jake Schriner, how are you, sir?
I'm a tired guy today.
Right.
Yeah, I am a tired man. No, so we had, Friday night made another awesome fire pit for a friend of mine that the D20 dice picture right here.
Send me the picture.
Yeah, I'll send you the picture. We can edit it.
That's amazing.
But so we went over to his place Friday night, have a bonfire, and just light it up. Well. So I had a fire.
Yeah,
It's not a bonfire. It depends on if you ask a city boy or a country boy what a good fire is.
Right. Because bonfires are the biggest.
Yeah, absolutely. Bonfires are huge. Yeah. So Friday night stayed up late hanging out with him, and then Saturday, Clut and I went to the Avalanche game, the home opener on Saturday night.
You had a big weekend, man.
And then
Avalanche.
yesterday, they lost on Saturday night. But Clut and I had a great time. The seats were on the 100 level. It was very cool. We do a lot of work with Ball Arena, so we traded a little work for some goods.
Some Avs tickets?
They asked me if I wanted some swag instead, like some gear or whatever. I was like, no, I want
tickets.
I want tickets to the game. Yeah, absolutely. And then yesterday, church in the morning, Broncos game in the afternoon.
Broncos in the afternoon, man.
Full day of work today. Got home after running a few errands and then straight here. I have been go.
Colorado sports weekend.
Yeah.
We got hockey and football, both live games.
2 nights in a row. It was awesome.
Yeah, I think it'd been nicer than if you had baseball on Friday.
Right, yeah.
Those are wrapping it up. Avs are getting started.
A bit expensive though. I'm gonna if I start going to more professional sports games frequently. I'm going to sneak in my own food or something, save myself $100.
You didn't say that. I'll bleep that out.
Okay.
So you were not.
It is the nice thing about the Rockies games.
It's not bad. Baseball is still, I think, one of the more reasonable ones. I mean, it's still a little more expensive, but
that and you can legally bring in some food.
Right.
So.
Well, that's true. You can a little bit. They're still cracking down a little bit more on that.
Oh, man, yeah, Ballerina was.
The Ballerino?
Yeah, Ballerina was pretty intense. I went to a Nuggets game a few years ago, and I don't remember prices being as bad as
Oh, that's right. We were talking about that on Sunday. The prices of the food at the Avalanche compared
It's a
to Sunday afternoon Broncos.
Broncos game slightly cheaper.
Get out of town.
Yeah. Yep. Slightly,
Well,
slightly cheaper.
Only one of those teams is, like a national
Right.
champion. It's not the Broncos.
Yeah.
Okay. At least it hasn't been.
It's been a while. But no, I've just been very, very busy with that. Work in the past week has all of a sudden turned around, and now I have a whole other set of issues with how do I get all of this done, which is,
Did you hire any new people?
got a new foreman in.
Excellent.
It's working out pretty well, but it's a lot all at once. He wants to do a lot of different stuff with the steel yard, and I'm all for it. You guys got the experience. I've hired a person in that position, so I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah,
That's
right.
his responsibility, and I can focus on more of the office side of things and getting in bigger orders, and just how do we move forward and expand and all that. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
that's good.
Yeah, so it's a positive thing, but it's just going to take a lot of work. Probably going to be putting in a few extra hours over the next couple months just to straighten everything out, but it'll be okay.
Well, very cool. My only comment before I move across the table here is that your coffee smells fantastic. Every time I take a sip of this Dr. Pepper, I'm like, I wish it was coffee. Glad you're here, man. And by the way, I hear we're going to keep hearing a little bit of Harper, a little bit of Leona in the other room. Kind of like it. Actually, as I was listening to the podcast.
Yeah, the last podcast you could hear.
Yeah, you can hear a little bit here, a little bit there, but I kind of like that. It's like it's not as cold. It's not not like our podcast was cold to begin with. It was great. The interruptions we made. I can hear them and they're talking about it, but they're making cookies.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be done. By
I'm hoping that they're ready by the time we're.
At least when we're done.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll have a cookie break like we did before. That's how we wrapped up the last.
Yeah, it is. That's right. We got cookies.
Maybe that could be a regular thing. I'm kind of liking the idea. Cookie break.
About that. Yeah.
Tell us about the texture. All right, jumping across. Bob, how are you doing?
I'll be honest, I'd be kind of okay if we don't have the cookies because we went to Red Robin and they had a burger and a shake and run about 50 miles to get that off. So yeah, it was a little much.
That sounds really good.
But it was good, yeah.
We'll get you like a little rice cake and make it look like the cookie.
There you go.
Just pretend.
But yeah, it's been kind of an interesting couple of weeks. Joy's been having some issues with vertigo that just kind of like cropped up, and they think it's the vestibular tubes. The crystals got like lodged in the wrong spot or something. We got that shaken out. Now she still has some PT to kind of deal with that. So then my dad was in the hospital again. So
yes.
that was and it's the same issues he's been having with his related to his gallbladder removal a couple of years ago. And or was that just last year? Holy cow. Time moves together, so and then now we know that I will be out of a job with my current company sometime between June of next year and July of the year after. So I'm expecting the year after just because my unit brings money in. So yeah, but I'm okay. At this point I'm like I'm ready to move on to something else anyway. So for a bunch of reasons.
They're going to jump on you. You're going to get a job.
I'm not too worried about it.
Big job, I should say.
So, and one of the things, I turned 53 in about a week and a half.
Wow, you are old. Dude.
Yeah, I am getting old. And but one of the things, one of my selling points is that right now I'm working on getting my Series 24, which is an additional hard securities license test to get and no matter where I go with whether I stay in finance or not, I figure this is something I can use as my tagline. This is an old dog that can learn new tricks.
There you go.
So,
Old dog.
yeah, ageism is real and it shouldn't be.
Well, just don't be a tricky old dog. That'd
Yeah,
be weird.
exactly. So, but yeah, beyond that, the life is actually pretty okay. We're enjoying what we're doing with the Compass next, and we're working on getting that into the next spot. I'm very excited about where things are going that way. We've got Glow and Go coming up. You and I worked on the.
Then we're going to talk about all these things here. Just about jumping ahead.
Oh, that's how I like to roll.
Yeah, turn into Tracy for just a second here.
Oh, speaking of Tracy, I did talk to him, and I'll share the joke that he told me that I did not share with you. So he had heard that Teslas don't come with a new car smell
Why is that?
because they come with Elon Musk. My response.
Tracy's among us. Not bad, Tracy.
That's
That was
funny.
good. So yeah, life is pretty okay, and in a lot of ways pretty okay. In a lot of ways, really good.
Good.
And sorry.
Oh, thank you so much, Jake, for asking how I'm doing before jumping into our talk. You're supposed to be in trade. You gave me the hint by Tracy roll. Roll for the low.
Okay.
Oh well, it's okay. I only have one thing to say about how I am, and that is I've hurt my foot again. I think it's plantar fasciitis. Am I saying that right? Fasciitis? Fasciitis? I don't
Okay, it's
know.
just fasciitis.
I think fasciitis.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, either way, I think that's what the problem is, and
It's not fascist.
it's not a fascist.
It's a fascist foot. It's
But I've been this kind
very political.
well, anyway, it's been a little while since I've had this issue, but I actually have had it. This is like even before you guys came around. And if you go back and look at any of the stuff from a few years ago, there's at least one message where I'm standing there. I got to sit down in front of this. I had to prop my foot up. It's the same kind of thing. It's just a slightly different spot on my foot. So it's actually starting to kind of hurt a little bit right now. So I might, if I start going, it's not because of what you're saying. It might be. But it's mostly just because my foot is going. All right. Anyway, hopefully that's going to heal up. But of all things, I'm off this week from school.
That's good.
And I also will have Monday off as well, so that's good. But I can't do some of the things I wanted to do because of my foot. We were going to go hiking and do some stuff. All right. Let's move on. And thanks for asking. Jake.
I failed.
I'm just kidding. All right, so what do you guys want to talk about? We got a lot going on. Bob already jumped into a little of it, but what do we got going on?
We got the Glow and Go's coming up for Halloween, kind of our usual, one of our bigger events as a church. Which
It is.
unfortunately I might see if I can swing by at like the end.
That seems like you've done that once before. So
Last year I did. 2 years ago, my folks were in town and we came with Harper and one of her friends and her
That was
friend's mom. They just came through and like having Harper when she's 6,
Right,
Halloween, she gets to go. It's like a more fun
That's
stuff.
fine.
But if there's time, it's become this big social event. But in the neighborhood, because there's a lot of families that have kids that are close in age, and we know their parents. So, but if there's time, I'm going to try and swing by at the end. At least that'll help tear down.
Or even bring Harper through. Because it's a lot of stuff, as you know. Well, okay. Well, all the stuff we can do as we're getting ready. We'll have our fill the bags day and all that stuff, and so that's coming up everything's coming up. It's only a couple weeks away.
Mm-hmm.
Where did October go?
That's crazy.
In the same place the rest of the year went. Away.
Well, it's thrown me a little bit because it's been so silly warm.
Mm-hmm.
So not really at fall. Even the trees are confused. I mean, is it fall? Is it not fall? They're starting to sort of turn. It had snowed already last year by this time, but not right now. All right. Yeah, Glow and Go. I'm hoping that that's going to be a big deal. Now, here's something great about that. Because it's a Thursday night, I've been saying that it's a school night. But the truth is, it's actually not a school night. I looked again. It's Thursday night, but Friday I think is it's a teacher work day or something like that. So yay, we hate the day after Halloween because kids have been all hopped up on sugar and candy the night before, and many of them don't even show the next day. So this is great. So
Harper has the day off of school.
Oh, great.
After Halloween, yeah.
And this is also great because that means next year it'll be like a Friday. So come on. Well, anyhow, we're having all kinds of stuff. Okay, so and I meant to post on Instagram and Facebook the United with those. I sent it out in an email, but Bob, mostly Bob, because I was hopping around on the lap, 1 foot. But we set up the light frame for that night.
Yeah.
And have you had a chance to look at any of the lights?
I haven't.
That's all right. It's only been probably 2 days.
Tomorrow, this week. Well, it's still nice.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
it's coming up.
So.
Anyway, we set up the whole frame out in my front yard. And so I have some pictures of that. And I'll probably post them either here. They won't make that noise, but I did. But I'll probably post them on Instagram or something later tonight. I meant to do it yesterday. Anyway, so that is coming up. Candy. We went this Sunday morning with Leo and I was like shouting out these various things. Candy. We're going to have glow bracelets. We're going to have balloons.
Games.
Games. Dancing bears. No, we want dancing bears. But anyway, a lot of free stuff, and pass that word along. If you are following along and you're in the area, you definitely need to stop by. Thing starts at 6. Usually people start forming a line at 5:30. And so I hate to be rude to them, but sometimes they're coming up as we're still putting the lights
Right.
on. Wait a second. We can just throw a bag at you and let you move on. But anyway, yeah, so that's coming up. What else?
Well, let's see. We've started a new message series. Easy for me to share.
That's correct. The message series has begun. Sean Cotton.
Shaken, not stirred.
Yeah,
So the message
He's
series is
got it. He's got
honored as it is in heaven.
All right, thank
And
you.
it's about Sermon on the Mount.
Thank you, Jake.
Thanks for saying
we're
that.
we're two messages into it.
He's drinking coffee, dude.
I'm on my game.
So funny. All right, so I was talking over you, but let's say the title again. It is,
Oh, it's on earth as it is in heaven.
yes, and the main that's the subtitle. So the main title is
I'll be honest, my brain suddenly cracked.
nope, that's not it. That was pretty close.
I'll be honest.
Let's see. It's a new way to live,
There we go.
and the subtitle is on earth as it is in heaven. But I'm happy you remembered on earth as it is in heaven because that's really what I've been into here lately. So yeah, Sermon on the Mount.
Start with the Beatitudes.
Nope, we actually started.
Actually, sorry. Yesterday was starting the Beatitudes. Started with the.
Hey, I'm sorry. Here, Bob.
Yeah, exactly. Also, when you put a reminder in front of you, the YouVersion Bible app. It's a great way to save scriptures.
We're two messages in there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The first one you actually started with the Lord's Prayer.
With the what?
Lord's Prayer, kind of.
Bob, what are you talking about?
Was that on the wrong day? Did I not say it? Oh boy. No, that's it. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna finish now.
You just listen. Listen as we go.
That might be a good idea.
Well, the truth is, here's the truth. Okay, you're not completely wrong. In fairness to you, I know that threw you a little bit, but it definitely threw me. But I did mention the Lord's Prayer because I mentioned it was all intro to the Sermon on the Mount. So again, in fairness to you, Bob, you weren't completely wrong. Okay, so I did mention that it was very briefly though, but it was that the Lord's Prayer in the Sermon on the Mount happens right in the middle of the whole thing.
It's the middle section.
Thirds and thirds. Yep. And in that, it was really driving towards the on earth as it is.
Yep.
Just going there.
Now that my brain's caught up, it makes total sense.
But yeah, I was like, wait, what? You're just cracking me up this all tonight.
Yeah.
That's all right. Bob is on track.
I thought I got
Make
more
no
sleep than I
mistake.
did.
No, Bob is on track. He is on track. He's only slightly off track. Well, anyway, yes.
I'm on a train somewhere.
Well, 2 weeks ago, I guess that is quite a ways back too. So, but yeah, we introduced it, or I introduced it, I should say, and yeah, I think it's going to take us into November, maybe a little into December, but there's a lot to cover in the Sermon on the Mount. It's an amazing thing. I have a couple of books just sitting right there, but I have like 3 or 4 books right now I'm plowing through. It's so rich, it's so well known, it's so powerful, and so I want to do it right. I don't want to, just kind of throw some stuff in there. The truth is, we're getting ready, or rather, we kind of started something I haven't even talked a lot about, which is our kindness campaign. Why can I say that? Kindness. I always get stuck on my kindness. Anyway, a kindness campaign. And so we've already done some things about that, and it was really tempting to just jump ahead to just a few verses down to Salt and Light, and where he begins to talk about that we are to be salt and we are to be light. That's going to be great, because that's a great way to talk about kind of what we're doing. But we have to cover these other things first. so we got the Beatitudes. I got one Beatitude out. I did the whole intro to that.
Blessed are the poor, right?
Blessed. Hang on. Turning you to Bob here. Blessed are the poor. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
If you watch the message, you'll understand why.
So we're going to be in Genesis again. No. Yes, not blessed are the poor. Blessed are the poor
in spirit.
Exactly, yes.
I did say that in heaven.
Right. It is funny how many, like you mentioned this yesterday, but that is a very misquoted verse.
Oh yeah.
Why? So people love to leave off the second half of the entire verse and stop it right there as if that's what they get to use. Like that's not the whole
blessed
thing.
is the poor.
Yeah.
The poor are blessed. Well. The poor will be with you always, Jesus said.
Yeah.
Right. But no, it's not blessed to be poor. That's not the idea anyway. But again, it's not even really about that is the whole point. It's not like the better answer is blessed are the rich. I mean, it's not talking about that at all.
Right, yeah.
So,
it's not talking about the wealth. It's not talking about material things.
yeah, being poor in spirit. And it is that first one. It's that one that we all have access to from the beginning, right? So we all start there. You can't even understand fully the rest of it until you realize your utter dependence on God, or your poverty of spirit, and how we're all in need. We can't save ourselves. We can't become righteous on our own. We can't do it on our own, and we definitely can't do the things he talks about in the Sermon on the Mount on our own anyway. But yeah, blessed are the poor. Take your true form. You're back on track. Love it.
Yeah, but from yesterday though, I do like the breakdown of how do you interpret
the approaches to it.
How do you view it? Because is it just sort of a guideline for how you should be living? Is it an ideal you're striving for? Is it supposed to be a little bit greater as guiding laws of nations is your third option there?
Yes.
Or the fourth one about it being, in the future, that's what the kingdom will look like.
Yep.
Is everybody doing that? And I think there's issues with pretty much all of those views.
Absolutely, yeah. And then when you get to the one that I believe that it fully is, and most scholars do, it's like, oh, okay, now I can apply this, and I can strive for it. But anyway, you were about to say.
Well, the one that hit me most, I had never heard anybody talk about it as evidently Tolstoy did.
Right.
The idea of being a guide for nations and stuff, and it's like, did he realize that laws then didn't work any better than they do now?
Well, he was Russian, and they really weren't into it.
Obviously, he was in too much of a hurry was the problem. Okay, but
I didn't say become text. You're sitting in the Tracy's chair.
Always been the apologetic, but yeah.
Wow.
So
Russian.
the only way we can ultimately get anywhere with the Sermon on the Mount is through God's grace,
right?
And we start imbibing that poor in spirit, recognizing that we need Him to be able to push us anywhere to the next steps.
Yes.
On that,
interesting thing about the Tolstoy thing. So apparently we owe Tolstoy every time. Leo Tolstoy, the author of
Johnny and I will be offering enunciation and pronunciation classes here coming soon.
kindness and Leo Tolstoy. Have a drum roll. Leo Tolstoy, the author of War and Peace. Anyway, he was enamored with the Sermon on the Mount apparently for a period of time. And it was literally like, no, let's base all of our laws. Like, we haven't gotten to this. There's a point where it's like letting your yes be yes and your no be no. Don't swear either by, don't swear. So he's like, so even in our legal system, before you speak, or the law will be, nobody can swear before. I mean, it was that kind of an application. But again, if you begin to take the kind of rules of the kingdom and apply them to people who are in the kingdom, they will rebel anyway, and it won't help them any. Right? It's that legislating of the morality. Now, if your legislation reflects a massive morality shift, that's a different thing. Right? So, I mean, it's okay that laws. I mean, most laws have, at least in the United States, reflect a foundational idea that started with things like the Ten Commandments.
Right.
So there's a foundational thing that's good to build it. But the Sermon on the Mount is, it doesn't, well, first, I think the most important thing to say here is that's not what Jesus was doing. He wasn't having a political rally.
Right.
He wasn't saying, let's rewrite the civil laws. But he was talking about what his followers needed, how they needed to live in a different way, a new way to live. So that's the title there. A new way to live. Not the old way to live.
And it ultimately worked really well. We go from right after his crucifixion and then ascension, there's like 140 or so Christians, and then 300 years later, there's millions of Christians across the Roman Empire. And it was because they lived a very different life than anybody else was used to.
Yeah, come in.
I'm thinking this might
Is it time for a
Cookies!
Is it a cookie break? Cookie break time! Thank you. Wait, can I say hi?
You want to say hi?
Hi,
Say hi to the
Robert.
camera. Say hi.
Oh, hi to the camera.
Hi to the camera.
Thanks for the
Thank you,
cookies.
You're welcome. If you want more, there's more.
Can we make this a weekly tradition?
Oh, this is
Oh,
fantastic.
sure.
Hey, can we have a napkin or something?
We need
No, that's asking too much.
Everybody just look at the cookies. Just some little chocolate chips. They've been making some cookies in
This
there.
is where we need smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision. We'll pause and... What if they're not any good? We're
We'll have to pause for the
a
reactions.
little
Yeah.
grainy tonight. Looks like we got some chocolate chip going in here.
That's
Yeah,
great.
that's great. You think she's going to come back with that?
Oh, she forgot.
Or do you have a table cut? Hey, Leona.
I'm coming.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Can we have some
Would you like a
tongs?
cup of milk, too?
No, thanks.
I'm okay.
Just use your hand or your napkin. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. We're all men here. Germs aplenty. You sure you want that? I know you said you had a shake.
I know. I'll have to shake it.
All right. Shake it off.
Yeah.
Shake it off.
How many have you had already?
None.
None. You can have one big one or two small ones. I don't know how big they are.
They're all about the same size.
We're gonna have to get dinner in a little bit.
Thanks for your
Yeah,
cookie cooking.
Sorry. Thank you for thank you.
Well, we are pausing now for our traditional cookie break. Let us
Oh,
taste
there's still one.
and see. Well, these are right out of the oven too.
These are great.
Is that they're really hot? Chewy.
This is what I'm hoping that the kingdom will have is much like.
Like a soft, warm cookie.
Where these add muscle instead of fat.
Yeah, I don't think Jesus said that. The kingdom of heaven is like a soft, warm cookie.
Brings back memories of simpler times, you know?
Yeah, this is great. It's like in grandma's house or mom made some crap. Yeah, we got the tablecloth. We're in a house.
Phenomenal.
Welcome to our cozy podcast. Any comments about the cookies tonight?
It's hitting the spot.
Yeah, very delicious.
Yum. Wherever you are, take a moment. Sit back, reflect on the good old days. Have a cookie. I will tell you this while we're in our cookie break. I did do something pretty silly on Sunday when I pulled my hood over my head. I will say that was not in my notes.
Jesus.
Emo Jesus, yeah.
I don't think we can even explain that, so
You really got to watch
curious
it.
about that, go to.
Go watch the message and you'll see.
Yeah, well, check it out. But yeah, bless it off and full. Okay, friends, now what would you like to talk about? Cookie break is okay.
Part of yesterday's message too was, the breakdown of what happiness is, and also the translation from the scripture. Blessed also could is referring to happy, content. Not sort of a.
Not sappy happy.
Right, exactly. Yeah, not immediate, not like a short-lasting, like pleasure-seeking. Just chasing dopamine, if you will. It's more of a stoic happiness, like being content with your life in general, and how you're doing. And a lot of that, real happiness and where you find something sustainable is in the Lord and in Christ. It's like searching for everything else, trying to find it through work or money or drugs or pleasure-seeking behaviors or whatever. It's all it's just fleeting.
Right?
It goes
Fleeting.
away
That's
so
what
quick, But finding true contentment in something much greater than any of this materialistic stuff we have here, I think is.
Yeah.
It's a good just start with the first word blessed. It's a
Yes.
great intro to it.
And I think it's a great, and I think it's honest for us to communicate. Even sin has pleasure for a season. It's called sin for a season, right? But it's not long lasting. It's not satisfying.
We wouldn't do it if it wasn't fun.
Yeah, what's that old song? Oh, it's fun to be a sinner, but you'll never be a winner. That's really free. I don't know. I have no friend who used to do that. It's fun to be a sinner. Anyway, but yes, but back to. I don't know. I didn't have coffee. I had Dr. Pepper. What's wrong with me? I had a cookie.
That's
It's great to
Well,
your mouth happy.
I'm about happy. Well, I was going to say, speaking of happy, that I saw one commentator refer to the idea that Jesus kind of grabbed them by the lapels with that, right? So he got their attention immediately. Happy is, or joyful is, but happy is okay. It's okay to say happy in that. I mean, a few messages back spent a little time talking about the nature of joy, not your wife, but the quality of joy, and how it is not. Anyway, how it is not, empty and all these kinds of things. And so, but on the outset, there is this sort of thing. You can't be too uptight about some of these things. I've seen people almost frown as they talk about the joy of the Lord, right? Because it's not just being happy.
right.
It's joy. Joy is more than that. Well, if it's that, I don't want that. It's like what's communicated. But it's like, even in the Old Testament, you see it contrasted with the way life can be without the Lord. And so it's like, happy is the man who trusts in the Lord. And yeah, it is that. If you want real happiness, it's here, right? But then, biblically, in the broader scope, you see that it is a bigger, broader, sustaining kind of happy that even isn't dependent on your circumstances.
Right.
So yes, it is how he started, and because he's going to get into some tough stuff, man. Mm-hmm. If you've read it, and I think you guys probably have looked through it, and we've got 3 full chapters of the Sermon on the Mount, and what a way to start that thing off is that, hey, you think happiness is this, but it's this, and that was the other thing. Blessed are the
Poor in spirit.
Wait, poor in spirit. What? Now, I'm not even suggesting that everybody sitting there fully understood what he was talking about. But when he says poor in spirit, it's a very clear idea. You have a poverty in your spirit. And this brings joy because it's the first step into relationship with the God who made you and understands life as it's supposed to be best. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's kind of cool stuff. So, I mean, we had, before I knew that I was doing Sermon on the Mount, we were in the middle of the Don't Forget series. I actually mentioned that. Oh, there is a moment. No, I won't even call that moment out. It's pretty funny though. And speaking of audio, we had all kinds of audio. Let me come back to that. What was I just saying? I got derailed in my thinking.
Don't forget.
Yes, in the Don't Forget series, I actually mentioned something about the Peacemaker, Blessed are the Peacemaker.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to spend as much time on that one. I'm going to make a reference back in a quick review of that and move past it. So, but I was just going to say we had all kinds of noises. We had airplanes. We had cars. We had dogs barking. There was something else that happened. And then, we're going to have to, I don't know what we're going to have to do, but I mean, the bathroom, the flushing of the toilet.
Sorry about that.
Well, I'm not going to call you out. Many people went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
good.
apologize for my contribution.
Maybe we should just say we assigned to the bathroom as way down the hall and down to the left. It was right by that door.
Don't go in the one that can the audio picks
And I think I was saying
That one sounds like a jet engine when I get.
yeah.
As soon as I flush, I'm like, they're gonna hear that.
Don't feel bad. But the thing is, I can't remember what I had just said. I just said something, and it was the perfect sound effect for it. But there were sounds everywhere. It's a loud, of all the outdoor services that we've done, I think it's probably one of the with the most noises coming through. And we had something wrong. I don't know. Maybe we didn't. Maybe it just was just loud noises.
It could be, yeah. Either setting on
Loud
OBS or it
cars.
was just one of those days.
Yeah, it could have been. All right. Well, what else, guys? Where are we on our time? Where are we?
36 minutes, I believe.
It's time to wrap this up, my friends. Was there anything else we need to talk about before we get going?
Well, part of the reason why we can look at the entire point of knowing that we can, once we recognize we're poor in spirit, we can look to the God who saves us is that wonderful verse that we like to quote, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Okay.
And that, when we have that as our foundation right there, that when we realize that's what we need, then, the kingdom of heaven, we're on our way to getting it.
Yes. Yes, thanks for that, Bob. And I'm so thankful for the truth of that verse, that God loves us. He just loves us. And has come to save us. He doesn't love us in the state that we are. He came to rescue us from that. But he does love us.
There's a song right now that all of it is really, really good, except for one part. And it talks about the, he loves you as you are, but then he doesn't want to change you. And I'm like, yes, he does. Yeah.
Oh no, we're calling that out right here. I don't care. Yeah. Do you know what's the name of the song?
I can't remember. It's but
He doesn't want to change you.
Yeah, it comes.
Are you kidding?
I am not kidding. I listened to it a couple times. I'm like, really?
What station did you hear that on?
It's on one of the
Quasi-Christians.
Quasi-Christians here. Probably 103.9 because it's the one
Follow,
I usually listen to. I mean, it's a good song otherwise, except for that one spot. And
I was gonna say, and most of the time I'm all about the poetry, whatever, but that's just flat wrong.
yeah, and I know they're coming.
That's supposed to change you.
I think where they're coming from is that come to God as you are, which is definitely the case.
Yes,
but realize He's not going to leave you there.
Yeah.
The rest,
You think that's what they're saying? That's what we know we're saying.
That's what we know we're saying. But I think that's what they're trying to get at. Start here, but it doesn't sound like it when you're saying it.
We gotta find that song.
Yeah, I'll have to.
Maybe yak about it next time.
Yep.
Call that artist out and everything. We'll be the fruit inspectors in the body of Christ. No, I'm just kidding. I think guys like that. All right. Well, okay. Yeah, we would say, of course, Jesus will meet you wherever you are, no matter what. He'll meet you right in the middle of the muck, but he doesn't want you to stay there.
Stay there, yeah.
Want you to become more and more like him.
Yeah, because if you stay there, you're never going to find that blessedness, that happiness.
You're not poor in spirit, if that's what you think.
Also,
And we've come full circle, friends. All right, so landed the plane. All right, so
it was a hard landing, but it was a land.
all right, friends. Well, let's go ahead and head to our final words.
Love you guys. Likewise.
This has been great because he is great.
God got to pause just because I remember last week when that happened. We all laughed out loud at that. Love you guys likewise. I'm not sure what that means. But anyway, we got to work on this. I'm sorry.
Yep, we do.
I messed up the flow. All right, so grace to you and peace. That's all we have for tonight, and we are out.
Bye.
A final cookie, friends.
Oh yeah.